Canada. Yes. So I'm going to talk a little bit more, pass it on to somebody else that might want to speak. I see some brilliant activists here right now. Michael Anthony's here, Pat's here, other people are showing up. So I'm just going to speak a little bit more and then pass it along. The Canadian truckers and their supporters have been in Ottawa for almost 16 days. They're entering their third week of being there and demanding the mandates get dropped and stopped before they leave. They tried stealing their gasoline, they tried stealing their fuel, and what all the truckers did is they all got fuel cans, and a lot of them filled them up with water. So you see thousands and thousands of cans, everybody's walking around with them in a peaceful protest. Some of them are drinking out of the cans, some of them have gasoline. They're being very creative, very loving, very humorous, and that's something that the machine doesn't know how to deal with. The machine of the state and the global corporations and the fascist marriage that they have, they don't know how to combat love. They don't know how to combat humor. They don't know how to combat peaceful revolution. Do you know what they know how to combat? They know how to combat violence. That's what they want. They want the Canadians to get violent. They want us here in New York City to get violent. They want New York Freedom Rally to get violent. They want the New York City workers who have just been fired. I'm one of them. They want us to get violent. That's playing their game. That's playing the master's game. And the Canadians have cut that off. The Canadians have realized we're not playing their game. And I said it before, they'll party all night long, and then in the morning they sweep up the streets till it's cleaner than you've ever seen it. Crime in Ottawa is down since the truckers are there. Crime in Ottawa is down. Some are saying 90% down in Ottawa since they are there. And they're painting them as terrorists, and they're painting them as racist, and they're painting them as all this nonsensical nonsense narratives that make no sense. So we're here in front of the Canadian Consulate to say we stand with the Canadians, we stand with the truckers, we stand with their supporters in peaceful uprising, peaceful working class uprising of the people who are saying no. I have one more thing to say, and then I'd like to pass it along to somebody else who might want to speak. Right now I can see either Kat or maybe Michael Anthony or Mo. Mo is here as well too. You're right. We got to speak about New York too, right? We got to speak about what's happening here. But one of the things I want to say is a really good dear friend of mine is a man named Tremel Thompson. He's a transit worker for Local 100 Union, and he's vaccinated. But what he did is he took out his vaccine card and he ripped it up. And he threw it down and he said, I'm pro-choice and I'm anti-segregation. In Canada, you can't rip up your vaccine card. It's not possible. You know why? Because they don't have vaccine cards. You know why they don't have vaccine cards? All they have is QR codes. All they have are passes in their phones. So you don't get to have a piece of paper that says your medical status and violates what your privacy rights to medical procedures are. No. You have to show your phone and get it scanned. So they're already on the way. They're already on the way to a digital pass and a digital identity. And that's what this is about, just like they already have in China. In China, they have a social credit system. It's illegal in China to give your phone number to somebody else. You know why? Because that phone number tracks you and identifies you. If you're in some provinces in China, when you cross the street, if you jaywalk, facial recognition captures you, they text and email a ticket to your phone, and they take your picture and they place it up on screens in the public to publicly shame you. And when you do this, your social credit score goes down. And what's a social credit score? Well, it's like a credit score for your economy, but this is for your behavior. In China, if you are speaking out against the government, you lose points on your social credit score. It goes down. And as your social credit score goes down, things happen, like you can't buy a plane ticket. You can't buy a ticket on the train. You can't buy a ticket on the bus. Or you can buy a ticket not on the plane, but yes on the train, but only on the worst seat at the worst hour in the worst day of the week. That's what they have in China. That's what they want to bring to Canada. That's what they want to bring to America. If you think this is about a vaccine, you're wrong. It is not about a vaccine. It is not even about medicine. It is about control, and it is about the destruction of fundamental rights. That is what this is about. And I had some people reach out to me before we did this event, and they said to me, Michael, could we talk about the fired New York City workers? The people who lost their jobs, thank you so much. The people who lost their jobs because they didn't want to get this brand new $1.4-year-old jab. Of course we can talk about that. I'm one of those people. I'm a New York City teacher. I started an organization called Teachers for Choice. Some of you might know it. We're a grassroots organization of teachers who are educated medical men for anybody to get their job. I was fired. Yesterday, Friday, today, I was fired. I was a teacher in New York City for 14 years. I worked with special education students. I worked with special education adults for almost 5 years before that, so almost 20 years of experience as an educator with children and people in the most need, and now I'm fired because I won't get a vaccine that doesn't prevent spread, that doesn't stop Omicron, the current variant, which everybody is getting. It's not about public health. This is not about a vaccine. This is about control. This is about the destruction of fundamental rights. So, thank you all for coming. This is a great showing for just 2 days of us promoting this. I want to turn it over to somebody right now who was good enough to interview me yesterday. We had an hour-long conversation, which was awesome. He's a giant in the medical freedom community, and in the middle of our interview, he said, I'm coming down there. I'm coming to the Consulate tomorrow, which I was so excited to hear because he has a fantastic message. He is just a wonderful individual. He's been fighting for medical freedom before many of us knew we needed to be fighting for medical freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring up Kevin Jenkins. Come on up, Kevin.
Let them have it. Let them have it. Tell it.
Sorry.
Make them have it. Go, Kevin.
Am I doing this right? Can you hear me?
Oh, just that.
Talking to this, talking to that.
Oh!
There you go.
I figured it out. This is something new. Good morning, everyone. Do you know where we live at? Do you know where we live at?
Yes!
Where do we live? No, I'm going someplace with this. Where do we live? Is America a free country or a slave country? Now, what they're trying to do to us is take away our freedom.
That's right.
Now, that now we have a North American country, Canada, right next door to us, that's saying we're now going to take everything from every citizen of Canada. We're going to take your rights. We're going to take your children. We're going to take your money out of the banks. We're going to do everything humanly possible to make sure we trap you in hell every day. Now, that's right next door to us. So what does that tell you, folks? What does that tell you? No, what that tells me is that they're coming here next.
Yes, exactly.
And that this president doesn't even know his name is prepared to double down on what Trudeau is doing. Do you understand? Thank you. Now listen, you have to pay attention here. You're too damn nice.
That's right. Yes.
New York City needs to lock arms like they're doing in Canada, and we need to stand up against these tyrannical lizards. That's what I call them, tyrannical lizards.
Powers that be.
Right now. Now, we don't have any more options because they're singing the message loud and clear. It is my body. My body is not to be commoditized by the wealthiest global tyrants in the world. It's my children. I have the right to protect my child from anyone. It is my country. We have to do everything in our power to fight
born human beings. We are naturally born, we are endowed by everything we have in our bodies by God, not by man. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
See, every time I come out here, I swear I think I'm talking to a funeral. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Now that is how you respond when you're fighting for your freedom.
Hell yeah.
You're too damn nice.
Yeah.
Every day you gotta get up every morning now and you have to work to save the planet. You have to work to save our community. Now you have a black mayor in this town. Well, I don't know what he is. I don't know what this guy is. This guy is the biggest bull artist I've ever seen in my life. Because you know why? If it was a white man doing what he's doing to black people, Latino people, and hardworking people, guess what? He would be called a racist. He would be called a racist. He would be called a racist. Well, let me tell you what he is.
He doesn't represent nobody.
He's anti-human. He's anti-black. He's anti-Latino. He's anti-white. He is pro-tyrants. And guess what? He's making his money there. Your unions are doing the same thing. Your corporations are doing the same thing. Now, how do we beat them? We beat them by boycotting them.
That's right.
We beat them by what? Civil disobedience. We beat them by partnering together. We beat them by standing up against them. We beat them by locking arms with our Canadian friends.
Yes.
Locking arms with our Australian friends. Locking arms with our UK friends. Locking arms with our friends in Italy. This is a global movement. But not the movement they thought was going to happen. See, the global movement, we all came together. Right or wrong? Now, we're standing in front of this place here, and they're saying, I know what they're saying. Well, they're out there doing what they normally do. You know what that means? That means we're winning. I hate to use that word because y'all get lazy every time I say that word winning. Y'all go back to normal. This ain't normal time.
Ain't no normal.
Tomorrow morning when you get up, today when you go home for dinner, understand that you have to get on the phone and start organizing in your neighborhood. You have to do it. I came out here today because I love you, and I came out here today because I'm warm and I'm hot and I'm mad and I'm angry and I'm feeling good. You know why? Because if you ain't got a little anger in you about this, well, you're in denial. But guess what? With a little anger, if we show each other love and respect, we win. The problem with us is we got away from it all. We lost our God consciousness. I'm telling you, every time I see you, I tell you that, because that's why we're in the trouble we're in. And when we lost our God courage, we lost our ability to seek the right answers from God. And now, guess what? We lost our God courage. Now it's time to find it back. Now, let me tell you something. I have traveled now almost 300,000 miles in this country. I have talked to people everywhere. And I'm telling you what they're saying. All of that stuff you see on the news, don't believe it. I've talked to them. They're saying, Kevin, we care about the country. We care about our faith. We care about our family. We don't wish any ill will on anyone. We are not racist. Guess what? One thing about us, we always in the racist mode. That's all we talk about. But guess what? The greatest tyranny of our time is doing what? Selling bigotry, selling hatred, selling segregation. And that's why your mayor and your governor in this state and in this town, they need to go. That's right. They need to go. You gotta rise up against these people because they've risen up against you. If you're a public worker, your union is abandoned. If you're a person that just lost your job, we're gonna pray for you and pray with you, because guess what? I want you to know something. You just lost your job? Let me tell you something, young lady. God rewards courage. And let me tell you something, young lady. You're not going to be able to work long because we're going to stand together. You lost your job. Where do you work at? Northwell Health. North, you hear that? Now you know why they're doing that. Because she's standing up for our children. She's standing up for us. This is important, folks. People lost their jobs yesterday. People losing their jobs every day for something that doesn't stop transmission. Something that doesn't stop infection. Something that right now our immunity beats it all. But they're lying because they don't care about human life. We have to put 1 million people on this street. I keep telling you, when New York wakes up, the whole world wakes up. Now, how in the hell is Canada beating us? Name and to say no. Starting with you. Loud.
Madeline, no! Madeline, no!
Madeline.
No! Catherine, help Elizabeth, no.
Stay focused now, because I want the world to see. I want the world to see that there are people in New York City, Americans in New York City, wherever you come from in the world. I want people to see you individually say no. No to tyranny. No. 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 I want to hear you back there. What? Now, let me tell you why I'm asking you to do that. When we get those million people down this street, because we're going to do this now. We got to do this. We got to show. You got to show your tyrannical governor, the vaccine queen from hell. We got to show your mayor that's selling you garbage as hope every day. Selling you garbage as hope every day. Lying to you every day. I got black mayors, black legislators, black judges, black activists selling black people down the river.
Yep.
Lying to them.
Yep.
They're losing their jobs,
Yes,
losing
sir.
their families, losing their lives,
Yes,
and
sir.
they're lying.
Yes,
and you
sir.
all are too damn nice.
Yep. Exactly.
That's it. Gloves are off. We're going to fight for justice. We're going to fight for truth. We're going to fight for love. We're going to fight for family. And we're going to say no. No to bigotry. Right? What you say? Guess what? We have to reclaim Martin's dream. We have to. It's time for us. It's time for us to reclaim the dream of what America was supposed to be. What family should be. We have to reclaim Martin's dream of love and hope. We have to. We have no choice. He stood in the gap for us. When I stood in that mall and talked that day, I had a tear rolling down my eye. Because I realized the importance of 58 years later. Keep that sign up. 58 years later, I'm in charge on our 58 years ago, that man stood up there. Could you imagine what he was feeling when he knew he was going to die? Could you imagine what he felt? Because he knew his parents told him, and all of them told him, just go be a pastor, boy. He said, no, God told me to do something else. And I want all of you to know that God chose you for this moment. God chose you for this moment. We are all ordained for this time. And I know, see, God ain't never picked a prophet that was happy. I ain't never seen no prophet run up there. I want to be a prophet. But all of you are prophets because all of you are going to go home and you're going to spread the good gospel. You know what the good gospel is? The good gospel is no to tyranny.
No to tyranny.
The good gospel means no to tyranny. The good gospel means full love. Now, let's send some love to our Canadian brothers and sisters by locking arms right now. Lock arms. Lock arms, everyone. Lock arms, everyone. Lock arms. We're doing this in solidarity now. We're doing this in solidarity, plus it's 2 degrees. Lock arms. Could you imagine what the Canadians are going through, how cold it is there? Yeah. So we shouldn't be complaining. You can't complain if you're doing God's work now.
That's it.
You can't complain if you're doing God's work. You have to get up and stop waiting for someone to rescue you. Stop it. Don't stop looking for good news off of Fox. Even though they're doing a better coverage of this. I gotta give them credit. I beat up on it. I gotta give them credit.